Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radha Govinda Jaya Radha Govinda, whole presentation, Write and Be Happy, Freeing a Writer Within, is entirely dedicated to my spiritual master, His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Swami, and His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And on their grace, I'm allowed to speak here. Hare Krishna. Learning to write is not a linear process. There is no logical A to B to C way to become a good writer. So we all went to school and we know the mathematics. Yeah, mathematics is very logical. You learn how to, you learn one formula, another formula, third formula, and you put them together and they always work. But writing is not like that. Sometimes it may work, sometimes it may not work. And to learn how to write, there is also no magic formula. So how to learn writing then? So we can compare writing like cooking to cooking. So one may have all the ingredients and the recipe as well. And there might be another person with the same ingredients, same recipe, and the third person with the same ingredients, same recipe, same place to cook. But the taste of the food will be definitely different. So, just to put the ingredients in the pot and say, now you cook yourself, it's not enough. So we need to put the fire on. We need to roast some spices, some ghee before. And we need to put the heart inside of the cooking, in the process. That we know as devotees, it's the most important thing. So just to list the details is not enough. You must add the heat and energy of your heart. You must give a life to the details. Now we are talking about writing. Give life to the details that you are listing in your essay or article or whatever else that may be. Experience what you are writing about. Feel it, care about it, accept it as it is, and put it in words. So there must be some emotion, some heart, it's not only using our mind or Google to find the details that we want to say, but we also need to put some heart, we need to express ourselves. So this presentation is based on the Natalie Goldberg's book that is called Writing Down the Bones, Freeing the Writer Within. And His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Swami, in his presentation in ILS, he recommended that book as a good start for those devotees who wish to learn how to write and start writing. So I went through the whole book and took out the things that I find important. And there is a whole Word file with all the chapters from the book and notes that I have compiled. And in this presentation, I won't give everything. I will just focus on main important things. And another thing that I wish to mention is that Write and Be Happy is not my presentation. I wish that it is everyone's presentation. So whoever feels inspired by it, and whoever ever feels enthusiastic to share it with others, can take the whole material that I have and that I speak about, and then just go to your community, to your friends, and present it there. In that way, it will be spread faster. If I have to go from place to place alone, it might take a lot of time. But if devotees carry this presentation somewhere else, then it will be spread. The word that writing is a service for Krishna and that we can write will be spread faster. That's one thing. And another thing that we will talk about later is the idea is to create a net. You understand a net? A net of writers, a community of writers. So nowadays, if you enroll in online course on writing or copywriting or whatever connected to writing, they put you in an online community there with all other devotees, with all other people who are learning to write, who are learning these skills. So there you can exchange your texts, you can get the feedbacks, you can give the feedback, but you can also learn a lot from others. You can get inspired like that. So the idea is to have this among devotees, and we will explain later why. So our first question is, where to start? What do you think? We have to read first if we want to write, yes.
See how other write.
Yes, that is very important.
So you decide the topic.
Decide the topic, okay?
Pen and paper.
Pen and paper. I think he saw my presentation before. You didn't? Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Purpose, objective, or goal. What is the purpose of my writing?
Ah,
That's connected to the topic.
okay. So we have to know what is our purpose, why we are writing.
Or the goal.
Okay. Anyone else?
The same pen and paper, whatever is in the mind, you just note down in points. And
Okay.
Then arrange.
And then later we go to arrange. Yes, pen, paper, and beginner's mind. So now, in this book, it is suggested to choose a fast writing pen. Why? Because the thoughts are faster than the hand. So you have experience that with some pens, it's slow. Just the pen is slow. But other pens are faster. You can write faster with them. The tip is thin, and you can write faster with it. So Natalie Goldberg suggests, choose a fast writing pen. The thoughts are faster than the hand. Choose cheap notebook. Have you ever had experience that somebody gifts you a very nice, beautiful notebook, a beautiful cover, and the paper within is wow, amazingly nice. So how you treat this notebook? With care and attention and little bit of fear, because we think that wow, in this notebook I have to write just perfect things and my handwriting should be perfect, and if I make mistake it's so bad, so what, I have to take out the paper because it looks bad. So we should choose cheap notebooks for practicing of our writing. Why? It lets you feel that you can feel it quickly, and we don't care so much how we write in it because it's cheap. It's just a piece of paper, and we have many in the drawer, so we can just fill them up. Now we're coming to beginner's mind. Every time you sit down to write, come to a beginner's mind. This puts us in a state of reality and humility as well. We are just the beginners. We are not advanced writers. So this helps us to set ourselves, to set the proper state of the mind and consciousness. We are just the beginners in writing, and then it's easy. Write about something that you know and say what you want. So this is important. Write about something that you know. How we will write about something that we don't know? This will be a bit difficult. But there is also a solution. We can get to know about this topic. So nowadays, very quickly, we can have a look on Google and explore. And it is recommended. So we should know what we are writing about. And once we know, and we have maybe made a list with notes, then we should write in our own words, find our own voice in writing that we will talk about later, and say what we want to say. We should not feel shy to say what we want to say. Last time Sudhir Prabhu asked, what about writing on mobile phone? What about writing on the keyboard and using other facilities for writing? So when we are writing with a pen and paper, then it's easier to connect our thoughts and our heart and put them on the paper through the pen and through our hand. It's easier to connect. So it is suggested that when we want to write, when we want to express ourselves, express our inner feelings, thoughts, emotions, then it's better to use pen and paper. But if we want to write a novel or a story, then it's better to use the keyboard, a laptop. Of course, we can always draft our story with the pen and paper, but the laptop gives us a facility to easily work with the text, put it up and down, delete, put it in another folder, another page of blank file. So we can work with the text easier. Then another thing that is suggested is to record our thoughts. Who asked me last time? It was Abhishek Prabhu. Yes, you said you have many thoughts and you don't know what to do with them. So you can record them. So you can carry a small device, recording device, or use your phone, and then whenever something comes that you wish later to write about, you can just record it and then it stays. I know a devotee, he wrote 2 or 3 books like that. Because he just sometimes is driving a car and the mind is working, of course, and that many thoughts about his book are coming, but he cannot write. So he just press record and talks. And then later transcribe and put in the proper form in the text. Srila Prabhupada did the same. He was recording and then giving the tapes. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I found this very, very useful. That sometimes somehow you get some inspiration, and it can come anytime, anywhere, any place. And sometimes there is some, like it's beautiful. What's coming is very interesting, and it comes very fast also. And it's like an inspiration of the moment that if you don't write it down, it will not come again. And so I found that sometimes it's really it's good to have these devices and just talk it out, just say it, and then later on, go back to it. Find it very, very useful.
Yes. And nowadays we can even transcribe it very quickly. We don't have to listen and type.
Yeah, that only.
Jai. Just by using a simple application on the smartphone, we can turn a sound, a recording into text. Of course, it will not be perfect, there will be mistakes, but still we can edit because we know what we want to say, and it's easier, it's faster. Now when we know where to start, the question is how to start, how to practice writing. Any ideas? Yes, Fru.
Start short, just 1 page.
Start short, 1 page. Okay.
Or maybe to write down a shloka or a good expression of one famous guru or someone, just to have a good beginning.
Okay. Sudhin?
If someone has difficulty with organization of thoughts or confused about what to write, maybe write a point by point, just one sentence, one word, and then expand according to after that.
Expand that point later.
Expand.
That's good. Yes?
I found copying others' writing also helpful. I sometimes write Prabhupada's letter by hand, and I can observe more and I can feel more the style of Prabhupada's writing. So that's also
This is also recommended to just copy other writers, as you say. Why? Because then we get into the skill of a writer. But we should not copy it and present it as our own text or essay or whatever.
as a practice.
Yeah. And Atmaram Prabhu told us in the beginning, reading, start with reading. So if we read only one writer, then we, how to say, when we are writing, then we are writing more or less into the direction of that style. You know what I mean? If we are hearing only from Srila Prabhupada and reading only Srila Prabhupada's books, then when we start writing, our writing will go in a similar style as Srila Prabhupada is writing. Why? Because we are absorbed in Srila Prabhupada's books. And we are hearing again and again, every day we are reading and hearing how Prabhupada wrote his writing and his talk. So we get the kind of program that, and then when we start writing, we start in a similar, unconsciously in a similar style. So that's why it is recommended to read many books. And there are many books of Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. And each and every one of them has his own writing voice. You got the point? Yeah?
It is not recommended to be influenced by one compared to the influenced by many.
I would not say about being influenced, it's just to get the ideas how other writers are writing as well, and they have their own voices. So for example, if you are a painter, so every painter has his own style of painting. And he might have been inspired by someone else. I have this experience because I was painting something in childhood. But if you go and if you look many different painters and many different styles of paintings, then you get inspired by these paintings and you take something from him, something from her, from that painter, from the other painter, from third, fifth, seventh painter. And you kind of put them together into your painting. And after many years of practicing, you develop a recognizable style. And everyone knows that, yeah, this is Atmaram Prabhu's style of painting, graffiti or street art or whatever. So where to start, how to start? First, we have to see writing as a practice. So whenever we write, we see it as a practice. The beginner's mind, again. And the more we do it, the better we will get at it. Now it comes to inspiration. Sometimes we don't have inspiration to write. But we should not wait for inspiration and a deep desire to write. We should practice. So those who are learning musical instruments or painting or whatever, or sports, so on a weekly basis they have trainings. And sometimes they feel inspired, sometimes they don't feel, but still they go on a training, not to miss the class. So similarly, on a weekly basis, we can practice writing. And for example, every second day, we decide to practice writing. So sometimes we want to be inspired. It may happen like that. But anyhow, we come to the paper and take a pen and just write something, whatever it is. It's better to write something than nothing. Don't have expectations. When we have expectations, that means that very easily we can get disappointed. This is applicable not only in writing, but in all spheres of life, especially in relationships. Yeah, when we have big expectations, so it means we will get disappointed. So we can approach the paper without expectations and feel free to write bad. It's okay. We are just practicing. Simply write, fill up the page, feel freedom, learn to trust your own voice, and keep doing writing practice again and again. So this can be also as a sadhana. Sadhana is something that it is done on a long period, 54, 60, 70 years, regularly. Every day we are doing our sadhana. and we have a goal in our sadhana. So we can decide to write, to practice writing from today, as long as it goes, and regularly, every day, every second day, depending on our time that we have, place and circumstance. Now we are sitting at our paper and we are already practicing. So the advice is to keep the hand moving and just write. Don't cross out. Whatever you write, just leave it. Don't think, don't get logical, just relax and write. Stick to the rules above. It will take you to the place where you are writing what your heart actually sees and feels. So this means that if we start thinking about what we are writing, we might cut the flow. But if we are just transferring through from whatever is in our heart and mind through the hand on the paper, we will get after some time into a certain flow, and it will feel like it's just going itself. But if we start crossing and coming back and see what we wrote, then we are cutting the flow, and it may stop. And we can try to get back into it, but it won't be possible. So when we are practicing, we should just write. We should just write, yes. Now what Sudhir mentioned was to put the points, main points. So it is also good to have a list of topics. Or maybe have a notebook, separate notebook, just for the topics that we want to write. And whenever there is a good idea, we just put a note in our notebook. Few sentences, one sentence, doesn't matter. Just that we don't forget it. Because the mind is like this. It's one point, one moment, we are thinking of something, but then the next, we just forget about it. And the idea might be very good, really. So it's better just to write it down quickly. Making a list is good. It makes you start noticing writing material. Yeah, when we start writing a list, then we might start noticing topics around us while we are reading, while we are hearing. We might start noticing that, wow, this is something I could write about. So let me put it in my notebook as a topic. And then, when we are without inspiration, without writing task, then we can open our notebooks and just find the topic that we want to write now about it. And we might then remember, oh, these were the thoughts. The list helps us to activate our writing very quickly and cut through resistance of the mind. So we might come across the resistance of the mind. Mind is saying, no, I don't want to write now. I just want to sleep, or I'm tired, or whatever. Mind has so many excuses. And that's okay, that's his nature. But we should not allow him to defeat us. So we should use what? Our intelligence. And say to the mind what? No? Now. What else we can say? We can say
Just for 3 minutes. Just for 3 minutes.
just 3 minutes rest. Okay. I sometimes tell to my mind, you can wander around when I'm chanting the holy name, but you can wander only in between the two mantras, not during the mantras. Just wander in between the mantras. And there is not so much space between the mantras. So. Yeah, we can talk to our mind for some time and tell him, yeah, it's okay. So we decided to practice writing. It will be just 10 minutes, short, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Let's practice a bit and convince our mind. Sometimes we might have to be a bit more heavy on him. But yeah, we could use our intelligence and find many reasons why we should write now, instead of just accepting the proposal of the mind and say, okay, I don't write today. Let's see if tomorrow I have time. First thoughts, that's something that we mentioned. First thoughts are very powerful. And if we are able to hear these thoughts and put them on the paper, it will be easier to express ourselves. If we start thinking, like, you know the difference? Sometimes there are just thoughts coming through the mind, and sometimes we are using the mind to think. So now I want to think about this white and pink clock in front of me. So I'm thinking about it. What is the, what is the shape of it? What is the color? What the time it is showing? But sometimes the thoughts are just going through the mind. And we might not want these thoughts, but still they are going through. Sometimes they are positive, they are negative, depends on our state of consciousness, or how do we feel at this present moment. So if we are able to hear these thoughts and put them on the paper, then we might record very, very beautiful things sometimes. But sometimes we might put on the paper even some bad things that are going through the mind. And this is also okay. This is also helpful, because it will go out of the mind then. That we spoke last time, something called therapy. So we can practice this, how to connect to the first thoughts. We can practice it, and what I wanted to do is to try to do it now. We can time ourselves for 5 minutes and just try to write whatever comes, whatever is there at the moment. So let us first read these notes. Time yourself for 5-10 minutes or more. Keep your hand moving. Just write. Whatever you write, leave it. Lose control. Means don't try to control what you will write. Don't try to control your mind and think that now I have to write everything nice, because I might be asked to read what I have written. But we won't ask you to read. So you can just let go of this controlling mentality of the mind. Contact your first thoughts and write from them. Be present with the first thoughts. So shall we try?
So these are not notes from that book.
Excuse me?
These are the notes from the book
Yes.
you mentioned.
Yeah, yeah. Shall we try? Yes? Who has a pen and paper? 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone has a pen and paper? Okay, good. Fast writing pen?
Extremely
Too
too fast.
fast. If someone really has a slow, I have a good pens here. If somebody wants to take, can just come and take one. Okay, I think we are ready. So we can time our... Prabhu, you want to try? Yes? Someone needs papers? We have also papers. No? We're fine. Pen. Okay, let's go a bit back. Yeah. So keep your hand moving just right. Don't cross out. Whatever you write, leave it. Don't think too much. Just don't get logical. Relax and write. In whatever language you wish, English, Hindi, German, whatever it comes, we don't know. Okay? So we can try for 5 minutes. Okay, our time is up.
You've done your job. Now they all write.
Yeah, so some might need more than 5 minutes. There are many thoughts to be expressed. Okay. So now we won't ask you to read what you wrote, but I would like to hear your experience. How was it? Just briefly share it.
My first sentence, I realized that I was influenced by someone.
Okay.
Oh yeah, somebody did exactly the same sentence I was writing.
Hmm. Someone else?
I
Abhishek?
read Prabhupada's Iramrit in the past few weeks, and I just remembered that and started with that.
Starts writing about Srila
Yeah.
Prabhupada.
I made a story. I will not tell now.
Mataji?
Like the first thought, the word, those two words actually I went inside, those two words. What
Okay.
should be the first thoughts? And secondly, your way of presentation, how you were presenting this session. Linking through that, the way you were saying the points you were using, the PPT. So I was going in those things and linking it with what I need to write.
Hmm.
That way I wrote something.
That came from the first thought?
Yeah, from first
Okay.
thought.
Very good. Sudhir?
The point you told me that not to think what to write, just go according to the spontaneity of the thoughts that come to your mind. That helped me to actually be more relaxed.
Hmm.
Because oftentimes there are n number of thoughts going on in the mind. So, but this spontaneity of writing down whatever thoughts come to your mind, it has reduced the number of thoughts that are coming into the mind, and just as you expressed, that free flow. There is some sense of relaxation, and which I felt as if this is practiced more, it can help in the channelization of thoughts and also may have one-pointed attention.
Interesting. Did any one of you felt any blockage? Like that you were writing and then out of a sudden you stopped and there is nothing to write anymore and then you thought like, what now? Yeah?
For a
Yes.
few seconds.
Few seconds. Yes?
I had so many things, so I was confused. Like, where to put what? During that I got some
You had so many thoughts coming at the same.
at the same time, so I was not able to put it. How to put it, I didn't know, so I
Mm.
was struggling with it.
So your mind was very fast. Yeah? Okay.
One other realization I had is I felt like I've written very little in a span of 5 minutes. As you said, the flow of mind and the flow of hand is much more slower than the flow of mind.
Then the mind. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
We have command over our own language, Hindi, and we had to write in English. So that language, what we are feeling inside, and how to put in language, English, that was also like little challenging. for us.
Challenging, yes. Yeah, that's why it is.
I was feeling something, but I was using the correct words to express that was challenging.
Yeah, you could have written in your language. That's also fine, and that's easier than to write in an other language. So if we speak naturally Hindi the whole life, then it's easier to express ourselves with Hindi. Okay, let us proceed. We don't have much time. Don't tell, but show. Don't tell us about your feelings. Show us why you feel that way. Or describe what you see. Give us the details. Don't write about the story, but enter the story and enable others enter it. Be specific. Create pictures. Use details. Use colors, sounds, just everything so that the reader gets more into your story. For example, we feel sad. So, and we take a pen and paper and we just write, I feel sad. That's okay. We feel sad. But what are the thoughts behind? Why do we feel sad? What made us feel sad? Who made us feel sad? Do we want to stay sad or we want to come out of this sadness? We can remember how was it when we were not sad, when we were happy. Write about that. So giving details is very important, and this is also very, very much recommended by the teachers of writing. Be specific, create pictures with our birds. Now we are coming to motivation. Where to find motivation? What do you think? Motivation is important, yeah? In whatever we do. If we have a right motivation and inspiration, then our activities will be more productive. Our consciousness while we are doing the activities will be more clear, pure. So where to find motivation for writing?
Well, probably the most important is that writing it is, if it will see the daylight, it it will inspire and help someone.
Please say again.
If the writing finds a daylight, it's not just training, it will be read by someone to inspire or help someone in their situation.
Okay. So from that we take the motivation. Okay. Motivate. We find motivation in inspiring others by our writing. What else could be?
Maybe from the persons or devotees who are having this habit of having writing, and what are the benefit they've derived out of this habit of writing.
So we find motivation in other writers.
And the benefit they got from this habit of writing.
Okay. And
The expression, express ourselves, artistic expression.
that could be our motivation as well.
Sometimes you would like to go deep into a topic,
Mm-hmm.
to do some research or to, go through the layers and go deeper. So when you start writing, you start connecting the dots and you can go.
Yes, very good. You wanted to say something?
And also having gratitude of the knowledge we have, that will inspire us to share. Actually, also I heard from my Guru Maharaj that we can share only what is we can share our overflow. So whatever we learn, we also it's good to have that gratitude.
Mm. Thank you. So we can find motivation in hearing and reading. That's something what we already mentioned in the beginning. Hearing or listening, because writing is 90% of listening. And the deeper you listen, the better you write. Deep listening awakens stories and images inside of you. Good writers. Yes, bro.
Just small point, how would you differ the inspiration and motivation in this case? Because you mentioned inspiration as well. So it's like motivation, inspiration, it's the same, or we are going different direction? Would be same or?
No, motivation is how we can translate motivation. You can be motivated by hearing and by reading, yeah? You can get inspired by hearing and reading. But you can also have a motivation to inspire others by your reading, by your writing, as you mentioned. You understand the difference? You can find motivation, yeah, and you can motivate others by your writing, by whatever you wrote. That's what you said. Whatever you wrote, you can, by that text, you can motivate and inspire others. And now we are talking about finding a motivation and inspiration. Good writers, they read a lot, they listen well and deeply, and they write a lot. And if we want to write well about Krishna, and then we have to read and listen a lot about Krishna. Listen, read, write, be patient, and do not worry about the results. Talking can also serve as an inspiration or motivation for writing. talking with other devotees, is a warm-up for writing. It is therapeutic and the exercise ground for writing. It helps us find new directions, inspirations, motivations, ideas, etc. So getting together with a good friend or friends and talking, it's very healthy. But we can also meet and talk about writing. We can create a writers group, small group, and talk and start our writing session by talking. And then through that talking we get ideas, inspirations, what we want to write about today. So now we are coming to something that we want to suggest to all of you to try it. It's called once a week. Writing is a communal art. It's an art, and it can be art for the whole community. So we are suggesting to meet once a week with your friends or just one friend and write together. Why? Because writing and sharing and friendship are important. So we can read to each other what we wrote, we can give feedback, we can receive feedback, we can get corrected, maybe what we didn't understood properly, some philosophical point, we can understand it deeper. There are so many things that can come out if two persons come or three and start talking and writing and discussing and churning the topic. But the main thing is to have the culture of writing. And if we are doing it alone, it might be at some point difficult to continue alone. But if we are in a group, then we will be supported by the group, we will be carried by the group. That's why we have the association of devotees. Practicing Krishna consciousness, bhakti yoga alone, if we are really not on that level, at some point we may notice how we are gradually going down in our standards, in our quality of sadhana. So similarly, writing in the association of devotees, it can help us. So we may want to meet with a friend once a week and just talk about it or write together. It can be in person, like this, what we are doing, or if we have a friend who is in another country or city, we can meet online. That's also fine. So now we are coming to something that's called writing affirmations. Who have heard of Mahatma Prabhu's book, Japa Affirmations? Yes, you heard? You read? You have it? You're using? Yes, good. Does it work?
Yeah,
It works.
it's really nice.
It's really nice. Yeah. What is the affirmation? Affirmation is a positive, personal, and specific statement written in the present tense that should be repeated to oneself and or written down often in order to be effective. It is a positive mental attitude A positive mental attitude supported by affirmations will achieve success in anything. So what is one of your favorite japa affirmations from Mahatma Prabhu?
It's like hearing the single word. Like he mentioned that you don't need to, like you have to hear all the japa mantra. Just focus on one mantra.
Focus on one word. And what is the affirmation then? Affirmation would be, I focus on one mantra.
Yes. In one syllable. Even it is not possible. So I'm trying.
There's one approach like I like to chant, I love to chant every day.
I like to chant, I love to chant every day. Okay, any other?
There is same, I need to chant, I want to chant.
I think there are 21 or 20. So, Krishna Kshetra Swami, he loves this book and he always recommends to the devotees, please read, use the affirmations. They are powerful and scientifically proven. So he came up with some writing affirmations that I would like to share with you. He says, I allow myself to regularly write about my experiences in light of Krishna consciousness. This is one positive affirmation. I see my writing, however faulty, as a sincere effort to serve Guru and Krishna. So if we repeat this every day to ourselves, I see my writing, however bad it is, doesn't matter, as a sincere effort to serve my Guru and Krishna. So this will become reality for us. So, when I read Krishna conscious literature, I reflect on how it might express the ideas in my own words. I reflect on how I might express the ideas in my own words. So if we repeat this affirmation, and if this becomes reality, what is the result?
You can write an essay.
Can write an essay. But the result, according to this statement, this affirmation, is that
Increases our faith and makes us write more.
we become reflective, because it is said, when I read, I reflect. Yeah? So, and when we repeat this and this becomes a reality, then as a result, we will reflect on what we are reading or hearing. We will think about what we have read, not only just go through the text, close the book, take prasadam, and go outside. But we will stop for a while and think, what is this now, what I have read? What is there for me? What Srila Prabhupada wants to say? What is actually the meaning of this paragraph that I have read? What is the main point? Another one is, my aim in writing is first to become purified in consciousness, and second to communicate effectively with others. Writing helps me to clarify my thoughts, to uncover hidden truths, to rise above the mundane plane. Along with Srila Prabhupada's writings, I seek out and enjoy reading good writings by contemporary Vaishnavas, which gives me additional inspiration for my writing. The affirmations, they can be even more simple than this. It can be very simple. I write every day. I write every day. I practice writing every day. I like writing. This is also an affirmation. I like to meet my friends and write together with them. I like to share what I wrote. Like that. We can create our own affirmations and use them. Okay? I'm gradually developing my voice in writing. So this is something important, that we are developing our voice, that we are not copying and writing in another's voice, another person's voice. By gradually, he says, I'm gradually developing my own voice in writing. That will become reality if we have faith in ourselves and in the help of the Guru and Gauranga, and if we practice this affirmation, this will become reality. Then gradually we will develop our own voice that will be recognizable. This is an essay or article of Abhishek Prabhu. We all know that's his style, that's his voice. And the last one, I always pray for the blessings of Shri Guru and Gauranga to write in such a way that they are pleased. Someone uses affirmations in a daily life? Yeah? 1, 2. Good. Now the laptop doesn't function anymore. What to do now?
He needs some affirmation.
He needs affirmation.
I am good laptop.
He heard it. So now we are coming to the end of our presentation, and we already had an exercise that I like to share some other exercises that you might want to try at home in your free time after you finish all of your essays and you're still encouraged to write something else. Exercises. First one is something that we did. Free writing. Specify what you want to write about. You can put a topic on top of the paper. Close your eyes, take a deep breath and think about your topic. Time yourself. Write for 5 to 15 minutes straight. Just start writing and keep writing about your thoughts and feelings. And then once that is done, reread what you wrote and reflect on it with a sentence or two. That's one, called free writing. Another is called ekphrasis. Did anyone heard of this? No? So this is a form of writing in which a writer is writing about his or her experience while he or she is looking at a piece of art. So we have here a beautiful picture So we might want to find a picture, and we have many pictures of Krishna, yeah? In Srimad Bhagavatam, online we can find many pictures. And we might want to look at that picture and then write how we feel. We can describe the picture. We can create a dialogue between Krishna and the boyfriend, cowherd boyfriends. We can just allow ourselves to be creative and explain the picture in our words, our own words. Write a dialogue among characters. Write about the scene or subject that is being depicted in the artwork. Write in the voice of a person or object shown in the artwork. So we did this as a exercise with Krishna Kshetra Swami during Kartik month. He asked all of us to find a picture that we like the most of Krishna as a baby, as a small child. And then we wrote ekphrasis on that picture. And it was very interesting, really. And the devotees were sharing later on, and it was really like how many different stories, ideas, and whatever they wrote, it was very nice, very, very beautiful. So I thought that could be something for us. It can be very simple. It doesn't have to be a big thing.
Question. What is the difference between second and fourth point?
Write a dialogue among characters. So we have Krishna and the cowherd boys, yeah? So we can write a dialogue between them. You know what it means, dialogue? When the two persons are talking. So what Krishna is saying to the cowherd boy, and what the cowherd boy is saying to Krishna, and then back and forth. And write about the scene or subject. The fourth one. Write in the voice of a person or object shown in the artwork. So that means we can write what the cowherd, what Krishna is talking about. You know?
Subject.
Yeah, the subject matter. Because some pictures, it's not only that we see Krishna as in the traditional Indian art, but there is a lot more behind the Lord. So we can write a monologue, for example, or write the thoughts of Krishna, or what is he doing, you know? Narrating, yeah, thank you. And the third would be reflection, that we already mentioned. That means to respond in writing to what we have read, collect our thoughts, and make them coherent, comprehensible, and interesting for others. We can show how we appreciate the particular passage of the Bhagavatam or any other book. We can imagine a specific audience whom we wish to address and whom we would like to help connect to the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. And we can have a single message or reflection to communicate as clearly as possible. So again, it can be very simple, clear, but the message should be understandable, clearly understandable. So these are few exercises that you might want to try. And we are coming to the last ending message of Krishna Kshetra Swami, who says, don't delay, and allow yourself to discover something interesting, something surprising, wonderful, amusing through your writing. So we can start today or tomorrow. Thank you all very much. I hope you had an interesting time today and last time as well, and that you got something out of this presentation. As I mentioned in the beginning, there is a lot more of the material that is covering different aspects of writing, not only the beginners practicing. And if any one of you is interested to look into this material, I can very happily share with all of you. And if any one of you is interested to share this presentation with others, that would be really good. You can use this material, or based on this material you can create your own presentation, you can read another book on writing, you can hear maybe a podcast on writing. By the way, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, whose The Right we saw last time, he has a podcast. You all know the Monks podcast, yeah? So he did already few podcasts with the prominent writers within ISKCON. So you can search and find some inspiration also from their conversations. There is the you just type in the Google Monks podcast and writing, and then something will come up definitely.
Will you continue your course?
This presentation is over. No.
Next step?
The next step, yes, I'm thinking of the next step, of course, to make another one which is a bit more elaborate, or I would say that there are more things inside from the book of Natalie Goldberg. And another thing that I'm thinking of is to, invite the real writers, invite Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, Giriraj Swami, Urmila Mataji, Krishna Kshetra Swami, and there are many, many more. To invite them to record something or to write something that I can later present to all of you. So we will see how all this will unfold. There is also the possibility to have an online seminar, to have this presentation as an introduction, and then once a week to have a practical class with such speakers who know much, much more than I do. So they would do it much better, and they would encourage and inspire you and give you so much more. So these are the thoughts, the ideas. Let's see how it will develop. Any questions?
Just wanted to have your thoughts on, as Admana Prabhu was asking at the beginning, which maybe it will be better to have listen or have exposure to one person's style of writing versus multiple people. So I was thinking of Back to God Ahead as an example, wherein there are articles from style or their own presentation, apart from, although it is inclusive of Srila Prabhupada, there is a part of Srila Prabhupada in that. But in addition to that, there is also their own personality in that, in the writing that they're presenting there. So would reference, frequent reference to back to Godhead maxing would be a good way to improve our.
Yes, definitely. That's a good idea. I agree. Back to Godhead, books of the previous acharyas, the books of devotees who are publishing and writing right now, at present. There are many books. So we can all read such books and mold ourselves as writers through hearing and reading. And gradually find our own voice. Anything else?
I sometimes think about it that suppose I want to write a documentary or write a short film on something. So can I watch films which are not good, like not about Krishna, and to take the techniques and to take some interesting things from there and put it in the short film for Krishna and for the devotees and like make a documentary out of it? Can I do this? Can I watch those things and
What do you?
use the tricks and use the techniques?
What would you say?
Like,
You have no answer.
can I do? Like, is it okay to do this?
Yeah, I mean, it is okay. Why not? To find the tools that you will later use in Krishna consciousness.
Actually, sometimes I think, suppose if I watch those things, I may get contaminated or these things, like those things can influence me badly. So I just get scared and like, okay, I will do.
As I mentioned last time, we are all adults. We know what can be read, what shouldn't be read, what can be seen, what shouldn't be seen. Yeah? And we can then, according to that, decide for ourselves. But if you want to find specific techniques how to make a documentary, you can find them online, definitely. And Google and find the skills, the techniques, the procedure, the technique.
It's more important to read how to do it, not to look at those things because of our lack of experience. We'll just get carried away by the topic itself, not by the techniques and how it's done. That would be contaminating. And of course you understand that there's maybe a documentary about birds, about war, or drugs. You can choose out of them a subject which is less contaminating for you. But more important, we read the topic, how it was done, not the work itself.
The content that is giving us the skills and knowledge how to do certain things, yeah?
For example, in my line of work, I'm doing the audio. And for me, it was interesting to find out that there's hundreds of ways to improve the audio quality. And then I googled out like, what's the price, the highest price for the audio work, and I found that there was one movie which got an Oscar for the audio. So you can watch the movie, or you watch the thing or the description how they did it. It's also a bit different.
Prashanta Mataji, any comment from you?
That's a comment.
I'm in deep meditation with this seminar.
You were very silent, so I was anxious that maybe you are not satisfied
No,
with
I'm
me.
actually internalizing the fact that that I'm not writing, and I was wondering why I'm not writing, because somehow it was a deep meditation for me to say that, because of seeing how I'm not doing it, I'm not writing, and trying to understand why I'm not writing, and also trying to get some inspiration of where to get the inspiration. and do it because the skill is there within myself. The skill is there, and I have already written things. And I even have, when you said list of topics, I even have a list of books to write. but somehow it has not come to light yet. So that's why I was silent, because I was really deeply wondering what's happening, why I'm not writing, and how to move on to take that step. So I was carefully listening to what you were saying. Practice it as a sport or something. That's all. That's why I was silent. I was really deeply trying to understand why I'm not doing it. So that's all.
Thank you.
It's very good what you are doing, because and writing is one of the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. I was thinking of that. The Prabhupada has given this standing order, to write. So we should definitely do it if we are able to. And it's a very powerful tool. Prabhupada said it is more powerful than speaking. Because speaking just happens in the moment and then it's over. But writing, it stays, for a longer period of time, and it can reach many people over time. We are reading the books of the acharyas who were on the earth hundreds of years ago, and their books and their talks, it's still there. So Prabhupada told us that this writing is very, very powerful. Bhaktisiddhanta used to call the printing press the Brihat Mridanga. So it's definitely an important topic, and I'm very grateful that you came to wake us up, try to inspire us to do something, to write.
It is a great desire of His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Swami. So usually on ILS, the devotees, the senior devotees, they are presenting something that can help ISKCON and devotees to move forward and to advance and to be, to expand, and there are different ideas. So this is his idea. Writing should be included in Vaishnava communities. So we are grateful to him, to Srila Prabhupada, and what we can do, how to contribute to write time to time something, to find a space and a time in our busy daily life. Yeah, we are all very busy. I know how all of you are busy here in BIG. So it's difficult sometimes to have time for that. But it is not impossible. It is possible to find, to switch off the distraction things, phone, and lock the door, and just make a peaceful, meditative environment, and take a pen and paper or laptop and write for Krishna, do service, connect with Krishna, connect with Prabhupada, connect with the Bhagavatam in that way. We can all try. Thank you all very much. I wish you a good day. And I seek your blessings so that this presentation can move on. It can be given again and again and again and again. This is just the second time. It will be given soon, third time in October in Germany. And we will see how it will develop. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Thank you, Vrindaranya Gopal Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Your time out for us, for our benefit.
Thank you for allowing me. It was an unexpected opportunity. I never thought I will be giving this here, but Krishna and Guru have different
It is
plants.
very relevant actually for us here because intelligent devotees are coming to study, and so they can learn how to write, get inspired to write. And it is very much required, even for a preacher. If you preach, you have a preaching center somewhere, you have to write. You have to write advertisings, invitations, some articles. You have to create a newsletter. You have to. Writing is part very much of our preaching. So it's very important actually in a place like here that we can inspire the devotees and help them to acquire some of the skills to practice. And they are doing it actually during the Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, because there is written assessment. One thing is the exams, and then there are essays. And the assessment for Bhakti Vedanta is a thesis. And I believe it's also that for Bhakti Sarvabhauma. It's a thesis of, I don't know how many thousands of words, many thousands of words. So definitely it is the right place.
It is a good to start from Bhakti Sadachar, from practicing, with practicing. And until Bhakti Sarvabhauma, we already have a lot of experience and many papers and notebooks collected.
It is actually the way we are assessing in the VIG. We are actually creating some writers because there are different ways to assess the Bhakti Shastri. Some places they have only short answer essays. But here we have stuck to our tradition of long essays. And so those who apply themselves to actually do this, they learn how to write. We also give them guidelines, but here in your seminar, I think we can do even more to help them write. But we already have given them guidance how to do it, how to write. And it works in the sense that I got this guideline myself a long time ago. And I remember that I was pretty stuck with writing essays, and I followed the guideline, and I could do it. So, yes. So we are already giving that training here, and we can increase a little bit the guidance that we give. Yes.
Great. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.